Hey, Stephanie May here with Maven Commercial Real Estate, bringing you your Q1 market report for all things commercial real estate in Simcoe County. At the beginning of Q1, we all know Trump got into his office and made some initial threats about tariffs. Canada was waiting for its upcoming election to choose its new prime minister. And so that was the backdrop to the market activity that we saw. And so the agricultural sales actually went down by 61.5% from the previous quarter. And it was even down just under 60% from the year over year. And so even though those numbers seem bleak, it was double from what it was in Q3 of 2024. And overall, it behaved very stably comparing the sales between the other counties surrounding the GTA. And with that backdrop, the industrial spaces actually carried on quite well. So 268,000 square feet of new absorption took place, and that brought our vacancy rate to 4.75% for Q1. That's a great vacancy rate because it actually is a stable market. It gives occupiers the ability to move around and right size their operation while also keeping rents nice and stable. So the average price per square foot for spaces that were 5,000 square feet and less came in at $14.74 per square foot, whereas buildings that were on average over 5,000 square feet had an average lease rate of $13.73 per square foot. Average sale price for the industrial properties are a little bit difficult to rely on an average price right now, with only 14 sales having occurred in the county. And so they are a broad range of locations throughout. You've got Barrie, Bradford, which buoy up the prices, and then you've got lower priced areas such as Aurelia, Midland, and Wasaga Beach, Collingwood area. So we would prefer to speak specifically to the individual property and look at the characteristics such as clear span, ceiling height, the amount of land that's going with the building size. Now, office space is actually the surprise story over the last 5 years. I keep mentioning this, but with the vacancy rates in Toronto reaching upwards of 16-17%, the vacancy rate in Simcoe County in Q1 stayed quite stable, down at 7.56%, and that's been on average in the 7% range for the last 5 years. And the amount of space that was absorbed was actually positive as well, and the price per square foot is on average about $531 a square foot. So good news story all around. Multifamily apartment sales are still quite low. They had remained low basically after the interest rate spike at the Q3 part of 2022. Even though our interest rate, the overnight lending rate that the Bank of Canada has now is down to 2.75%, it hasn't actually caused for there to be movement within the market. We anticipate that the property owners that had locked in for 5-year fixed rates basically at the end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021 are locked in for their 5 years. Those mortgages will be rolling over in Q3, Q4 of 2025 and then into 2026. So we anticipate more sales to come then. And as it stands, Q1's number of sales only reached 1 out of the entire county for properties that were 6 units and over. And in development land, the market has proportionately shifted its dollars, investment dollars, to the commercial designation of land development. So that would be properties that would be developed into mixed use or retail or office types of product. With that shift, it's actually about 60% of all of the investment dollars for development went into commercial, as opposed to the residential sector or the industrial sector, or even the speculation lands, which are the properties that would surround a boundary line, a settlement boundary line. In fact, that the dollars are moving towards that And it really comes down to those uses are in demand right now. So those are the Q1 statistics in the market report for Simcoe County with regard to the commercial real estate landscape. If you have any questions, reach out to our office, go to our website, mavencommercial.ca, and we're happy to help answer any questions that you may have.